What's up, y'all? It's the Indie Kid here with Show and Talk. Today we're going to talk about The Lobster. Very excited to see this movie. It premiered in Sundance, I believe, last year. It was written and directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and starring Colin, Farrell, and Rachel Weisz. And it's basically, from what I can gather from the trailer, it's about this guy in this somewhat future kind of deal in Ireland. And you get put in this home, kind of like this hotel type of thing, if you don't have a partner, if you don't have a life partner anymore. If you fall out of love or you never had one or your spouse dies, you get put into some kind of rehab center. And if you don't find love or find a partner here in the next 45 days, you get turned into an animal. And in the trailer, it talks about Colin Farrell being turned. He chooses to turn into a lobster if he doesn't find love. So it seems a really quirky movie. I get a lot of Wes Anderson vibe from it. Colin Farrell looks hilarious. I know John C. Reilly's in the movie. Ben Whishaw from the 007 movies, I know he's in it as well. So I'm really excited to see it. I've been waiting for it for a long time. I know it premiered over in Europe a long time ago. So I'm really excited. We're finally getting it here next week. So we're going to watch it. We're going to take a look. If you want to watch the trailer before I go any further and talk about the movie after, it's going to be right down in the info. Go ahead and click that link to the Lobster trailer and check it out. So without further ado, let's get it started. I've seen a lot of weird movies. This is up there. It was an awesome movie. Don't get me wrong. I really, really enjoyed it. But there's a lot to process. Kind of what you see in the trailer and that world that he talks about. It only lasts for like the first 45 minutes, and then you're off into more craziness. I don't want to spoil anything because, like I said, it's coming out in theaters next week, so I want everyone to have a chance to go see it because it's definitely an experience. You should definitely go see it. But there's just so much to wrap your head around. I mean, I'm not going to fully understand this movie without another couple of views at least. I might never get it, but I'm definitely going to have to watch it a couple more times. A lot of metaphors, a lot of breaking down what relationships mean. It'll really make you question why you are with who you're with. Kind of the big theme of the movie is having something in common with someone, and what people use as grounds for being in love. For example, the things that they chose to base their partnerships on was just, to a normal person, completely ridiculous. For example, you had Ben Wishaw's character, when he came in, he had a limp, and he talked about how his ex-wife, she died, but she also walked with a limp, and how that was a very good match because they both did that. And it really kind of played on like these ridiculous reasons that people find to be with somebody. Whether, we like the same job, or we have a similar taste in movies. And that's why people stay together, not because they love the other person or because they enjoy being around the other person, about how different they are. It's all about finding something in common. And that was a big part of this movie, was finding like one thing in common and sticking with it. It lended itself to some hilarious scenarios. The Ben Whishaw finding somebody else, and then Colin Farrell with this one woman, the first woman she tries to make work. And she's just this evil, awful person, and he tries to pretend to be this awful person too, in order to make their partnership work, because they can't just like, we love each other. They have to have a specific thing in common. So I really love how the film played on that part of our society, and I really enjoyed the fact that it was an either or scenario. If you ran away from this camp, you joined these people that were these loners that lived out in the woods. There's a big group, but with them, you weren't free to love anybody. You had to be completely 100% alone, or they were going to punish you. You had to, you couldn't flirt, you couldn't look at someone too long of the opposite sex. Like, it was a very like, we are meant to be alone, or we are meant to be with somebody else. And it kind of set up this if we're in limbo or we just kind of like another person or we're not sure what we want to do with our lives, it kind of made it not okay. I just really love how the writer-director put that on Society Show. It kind of said, like, okay, this is a problem we have. Like, we don't let love itself be free enough in order to let it grow. It has to be one way or another. It's a very, very cut and dry, black and white type of society. The humor in this movie was out of this world. It was very, very dark, which you don't often see in these little indie comedies. I mean, it takes a much larger scale to appreciate a dark comedy. But it was very, very dark and morbid and very, very dry. Very Wes Anderson, British Office type of dry. And normally I don't always love that, but in this film, I thought it was hilarious. Just some of the simple conversations they would have were so crisp and so clean and just so terrible that you couldn't help but laugh. One of the scenarios they were talking about as you go through this process with the 45 days, after you pick a partner, you guys, start living together in a separate section of the camp, and you have to make it a couple weeks until they let you off into the world. And if you're having arguments as a couple that you can't fix on your own, they give you a kid. They give you a child, not a specific age. It could be an infant, it could be a teenager. They give you a child because they say that typically solves problems when you can't stop arguing. And I thought it was really funny because it's obviously the opposite of what is okay. I mean, but it happens to be what a lot of people do. All in all, I really enjoyed the movie. It's a crazy thinker. I mean, I'm going to sit here for another hour or two and just have to download everything that I just witnessed. The ending is completely shocking. Very, very open. Very thought provoking. It'll leave you thinking about it for a long time. But it's definitely a movie worth seeing. It's one of the best comedies I've seen in the last couple of years. Thank you to the Nashville Film Festival for letting us screen it. Definitely go see it when it opens in U.S. theaters May 13th. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. You can click right above here at the show and talk button. Make sure to subscribe. We got a lot of awesome stuff coming at you the rest of the year. I'm going to do a lot of these reviews, especially a lot of indie stuff. A lot of stuff doesn't get attention. So if you have people that are really heavy into indie films, indie comedies, indie horror, anything that's not Captain America or Batman, stuff that's not the big summer blockbusters. That's the kind of stuff we're going to be covering here. Things that we think deserve some more attention. So I know a little later we got a High Rise review coming at you. Probably Green Room in the next few days. A local Nashville movie called Dust Storm that hopefully will be getting out to you guys pretty soon. So we got some exciting stuff. Keep watching, and thanks for listening. Peace.